Welcome back to What the Podcast. I'm Ryan.
And I'm John.
And together we are.
Ryan and John.
On the couch as always, Cara Tafolla, my lovely wife. Chime in.
Yo.
Okay, thank you. And joining us again this week, we've got a real treat. Annie the Skovmand in the studio today.
You're
So glad to be here.
We already are starting off with like post-show energy, I feel. So
Yeah, we were kind of a few beefs were settled in the
Yeah.
pre-show.
did they get settled? Were they squashed?
No.
I think
The beefs?
We'll never know.
I think we should get boxing gloves,
Okay.
and we should settle it
Annie,
that way.
I don't think you want that. I really don't think you want that.
Ryan did punch me the other day. It hurt for a couple days. There's a little
Annie
goose
had,
egg.
No, did it really?
Ryan has a history of violence towards you on this show.
Oh.
With
On the show?
orange, With the orange.
Oh.
Remember the,
You-
yeah.
Yeah.
And you chucked an orange.
The orange
full
of,
force.
of 23. Yeah.
Jeez.
And then you look me dead in the eyes. You go, "Did that hurt?" I go, "No." He goes, "I wanted it to hurt."
Yeah, see? That.
Oh. That's iconic, though. Now that is 25-hour energy. That's a whole different energy from post-show energy.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Kind of scares me. Kind of makes me shudder a little bit.
Could be a lack of installation at this studio.
Okay, really.
It's cold.
Really? You're gonna
Installation.
come
It is.
back?
It's. We finally got rain.
Rain
So
for 2 days. And that's it.
The
Not supposed to
disrespect
rain at all
is
for the next
crazy.
week.
I know. Disrespectful, right?
The cameras are in a way that nobody can see that the walls aren't finished, Annie. So nobody would know unless you brought attention
I
to
wasn't
it.
saying that they weren't finished. I just said there's no installation.
Which would lead people to believe that they're not finished.
We're also in a garage, though.
I
Don't
wasn't
most
saying
garages,
that.
Nobody knows that either.
Oh,
Saying
sorry.
that.
Nobody knows that. Okay, we're cutting all of
Don't
this,
most
by the way.
garages not have insulation?
Speaking of,
They don't need it.
Speaking
right?
of garage, guys, I in the past week have binged 2 seasons of a show called Silo. I'm going to just briefly tell you about
Yeah,
it.
okay, tell me about it because I.
When,
Okay.
What
I've
year
heard
did
of
it come out?
Recently,
Wow.
it's brand
2 years
new.
ago?
Oh, brand
The,
new?
the second
Last year.
season came out like a week ago, something like that.
Nice.
I've literally binged the whole thing. Everyone lives underground
In silos.
in this silo. The
Yes.
silo is like you can only go down the levels of the silo by walking down these stairs, and everyone like has a little job. But then it like breaks into like a class war thing. Like the people down below are like, you know, the way downers are like, you know, basically like lower class citizens, and like the people up top do like the computer jobs and like judicial jobs, and like the farmers are kind of in the middle. It's very Hunger Games. It scratches
Yeah.
a certain like post-apocalyptic itch that I have in my brain.
Love.
Rashida Jones is like a producer
her.
and is in the first episode. No
Okay.
spoilers for Silo. And I've been having such a fun time watching this show because I haven't had like a show in a while. I've been saying like, oh, I need a new show. Like the shows I've kind of been watching have been I'm not that into. Like Squid Games, we started season 2 and it was kind of like
There's a
meh.
second season.
Yeah, second season just
Boo.
came out recently. We were kind of like into it, but not. So
Nothing is ever good. I feel
yeah.
is like something like that's very shock. Like
Shock.
when it came out, Squid Games was like really shook. I feel like really shook the media space.
Yeah.
and I feel like it's never good the second time.
Well,
You
the
think
second
so?
season 2 is kind of just doing the same thing as the first.
It seems like it is.
Yeah.
Like the guy from the first season who wins the game goes out, and now it's like his life's goal to try and figure out
Who
to
runs
take
the
down
games
the games.
and
So
ends
now
the
he's
games.
second season is he gets like trapped on purpose to go back into the games.
Ugh.
So
That-
you're just back in the games.
that show's
I know
hard,
it's brand
too.
new games this season,
Right.
but
Boo.
That show's hard because you can't watch, look at your phone and watch at the same time. You have to read the subtitles.
Yeah, it's
So
pretty
you stop paying attention for a minute. You're like, what's happening?
you could
What?
just watch the dub version like a
Yeah.
idiot.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. Certainly not.
good. Certainly not.
Any shows you're into right now?
It's an oldie, but I just finished Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Love that show.
Oh, I do love that show
It
too.
was so good. And I think what kind of got me into it initially was I saw some interviews of Andy Samberg, and he was talking about like how he was in what was the show?
Parks and Rec.
Yeah, he was like a part-time character in Parks and Rec, and he was talking to Amy Poehler, and he was like, "Oh, like I she's like, this is a great gig. She's like, I get to work with my friends, and we all do the same. We do the same thing every week. And he's like, it's super fun. I don't know what the dog is doing. Just forget it.
He's just barking at the garage door.
Another dog outside.
And then so she's like, because I guess he was kind of considering, he wasn't considering Brooklyn Nine-Nine, but he was like, I want to find something regular like
A show.
Parks and Rec.
Yeah.
And then so he said like when they brought Brooklyn Nine-Nine to him, he was like, yeah, because he kind of already knew
I
how
love
fun
him.
it is.
I think he's so funny, and I think that show's really funny too.
So good. So yeah, I just finished that, and then I haven't really found a new show. I'm kind of in limbo.
Do we let the dog out, or do we?
No,
what do we
he's
do?
barking at the other
He's an
door.
idiot. Okay.
No, and
Hey.
these all can be true. He is an idiot.
Artie, come here.
But he's certainly in the studio right now. You know what I mean?
Lay
There
down.
He is. Artie, the podcast dog. Let's give it up.
He's
I'm so
gonna try to
tired of
go
this
on the
dog. I'm
table.
so tired of this dog. I was telling you guys a little bit before the show. He is perpetually terrified of something new every week, and I'm just so
Yeah.
over it. I'm so.
What is
over
it this
He's a
week?
rescue
Other
dog.
dogs?
No,
It's-
this week it's the vent fan.
It's the vent fan. Last week, a couple weeks ago, which I told you guys, we've had this water container that holds like a gallon of water, and it just refills. It's like a very standard pet thing, and we've had it for the whole time we've had him, and he's never had a problem with it. We move into this house, he's terrified of it. Won't drink any water.
Whoa.
Now we have to put water into a freaking bowl. It's so annoying.
well, now
I'm so
he's afraid
tired.
of the ice maker too.
Yeah, he's afraid of something. And he's always been afraid of. You guys saw the fire alarm debacle from a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
The fire
Crazy.
alarm
Anytime
debacle.
one of goes
Poor
off.
guy.
Sense.
That
So
was like a 15-minute cool down. This
So-
guy was shaking uncontrollably.
So where he came from just now was his new favorite thing is when he's scared, he squeezes himself under the 12 inches of space that is the workbench on the other side of this wall.
no.
And he doesn't fit. He like forces himself into this tiny little gap. I'm just tired of it. I'm done. I give up on being a pet parent.
You could get them. We have one of those like water fountains for our cats, and they seem to like that a lot. You could get one of those like, it's like you plug it into the wall, and it has a little spout, and it's just always running. Like
I feel like anything that makes noise is what scares him. Because what scares him
It doesn't
about
make
the,
noise.
it's
but
pretty
like
quiet,
the noise
but
of
it may.
running.
Yeah.
Because what scares him about the water thing is the like glugging of when it refills.
It, like,
This one,
blubs.
the fountain only makes noise when it runs out, because then it's just like
The motor.
Yeah, the motor.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we're working on it. Nobody's perfect.
He's a work in
Certainly
progress,
isn't.
just like all of us, right?
It's
like-
just some
just like
days, some days
other
you
people.
know this, Ryan, with your pets.
Go ahead.
Some days you're just like you're at the end of your rope with your pets.
Oh my gosh! Did I show you my wound? It's finally now healing.
That's crazy.
I got from one of my cats.
I watched my mother-in-law's cats this last week while she was in Costa Rica. I got to tell you, I don't know if I could ever have a cat. I just don't really get it.
It's cats are a mixed bag because they don't care about you at all.
Yes.
They don't care for your whether you live or die. They don't care.
What?
But they do love like messing with you and messing with little toys, running around.
They're kind of their own characters in their own world.
Yeah, and
Is
you're
that
just,
why you
and
like
you're
them?
lucky to like be a part of it.
Is
the
that
whole
why
thing.
you like your cats?
I do. Yeah, I love it because they
Oh,
don't give a
really?
shit about me. They're like, oh hey, what's up?
I did tell my
Hey.
mother-in-law, I was like, I'm sure they're more friendly to you, but like when I was, the couple times that I was there checking on them, like
Yeah.
they didn't even come out
No.
of their little spots.
No.
They just
They hate their thing that they hate is anyone new.
Yeah.
So you got to put in the hours. Is the
you've
thing.
got to
I
put in the
now-
work.
Both of Ryan and Kara's cats will come out when I'm there.
And that was not. That's not overnight. They were
No.
they were pissed every time
Sure.
Annie would come over.
Yeah.
But Annie, she watches the cat. She gives them little treats.
I give them
Hangs out. If you sit there,
scratches.
I have to tell my niece every time. If you sit really quietly, of course she's not going to do this. She's like, I'm actually going to chase them and find out where they're hiding. And I'm like, that's one way to
Not
do
what
it.
they wanna
Or you could sit quietly and wait for them to come out, and eventually they'll forget that you're there.
Yeah.
Um,
Cats.
pet talk.
Pet talk. Pet talk. Yeah. Well.
Sorry,
Yeah,
Mom.
yeah. Pet dog.
Pet talk.
Now, have you guys had that? That's empty. Have you had?
Doesn't matter.
You didn't have cats growing up. You
No.
didn't have any pets.
Didn't have a
growing
single pet
up.
growing up.
You had dogs, but no cats.
And cats.
So and cats.
Yeah, not at the same time though. My first pet ever was
What do
my
you think?
parents'
What
cats.
was the most standard procedure for like when a cat, reached the end of its life? Do you find it dead, or is there a process
Well,
usually when it
you
dies?
already know
Well, the one
about
The
My
one that
cat?
they killed,
No idea.
the one that they poisoned. She has
idea.
told
You
us.
don't remember this
What?
No,
Have I
not
not told
story.
this?
You poisoned your
I-
cat?
Wait, I feel like I've
You have. You
Okay.
have told the story.
So my parents,
30,000 feet.
when my parents got married,
Cara didn't. Short story long. Cara didn't poison the cat. They gave it flea medicine, and the flea medicine killed the cat.
two cats. Kind of like how we have two cats right now. My parents, when they got married, got two beautiful Himalayans, Max and Allie. Max, they ended
Wow.
up giving away to friends because when Connor was born,
Max didn't like that.
and then when I was born, because I only had Max in my life for like a little bit, I guess. He was like he started spraying around the house, which is like a territorial
cat.
thing. He started scratching Connor. So my parents were like, Max, you got to go. Kept Alley Cat.
I can't believe
Alley
he-
Cat was
he
the
broke up the band.
best cat ever.
Got to do it.
Always had fleas. No matter what, like there's always a season of fleas with this cat. So then there was a new flea medicine that came out that was in form of shampoo. So my dad like shampoos Allie, whatever. And then literally the next morning, she was like in her bed, just not moving. So my dad was like, maybe she's not feeling well. And then they're like, okay, something's wrong. And they called the vet. And then the vet came to our house
was like,
and was like,
he's passed.
yeah, this cat has gone. So we were like, what? This cat was
We
only
need a second opinion.
this cat was only
It's
Your dad
a
was a
dead cat.
cop.
like 8
He
years.
saw dead bodies all the time, right?
It's a cat. It's his cat though. It's different.
Yeah, I'll say my
It's
my
different.
brother's kind of like the guy that we call for when
Dead animals.
because nothing phases him. No, weirdly, found out recently he can't pick up dog poop. He absolutely like the smell of dog poop.
I get it.
Sends him over the edge, and I'm like, dude, you've seen like gnarly stuff, and dog poop does it. Like it's the one thing you can't do. Like he'll gag at the smell of dog poop. I'm like,
No, this
"What?"
one. This is
That's
the reason
me.
my dad will never have cats again because they were the best cats ever.
So they only had one set of cats.
Yeah, just the two, brother and sister.
Okay. So you don't have a good gauge as to how cats normally pass away.
How they go out? Because one went out to pasture, and then one was
Well,
murdered.
we did have a neighborhood cat for years who did get attacked by a coyote.
Well,
and that's
I
how
feel
they
like,
went.
and that's the thing is, that's how in East County, that's how they went.
Have you
They
ever met a
disappeared.
cat who has died of old age?
I
No.
have, yes.
Yeah.
My
Coyote.
Jordan's grandparents had a cat named Sheba, and she was really sweet. They towards the end they did exhaustive measures. They were like giving her an IV for an hour
no.
every day.
Oh my
We were
god!
like,
This cat's old. Time to
Personally-
You
go.
remember that video I sent you a while back of the rescue cat, and it was like this. It was somebody posted this video of a rescue cat, and they had shaved its paws up because
the IV.
for all the IVs, and it was the cat was like on its last leg, and then all these people started stitching the video, and they were like, "Let that baby go."
Oh.
I look it up like once a quarter. I think it's so funny. I'll show you after the show. But
When we had our old corgi, my parents, Charlie, probably would be the last dog they ever had. They loved him so much.
see, I keep telling your parents they need to get another.
And
They say
want-
that now.
They want one, but like they don't because they like traveling and whatever. But
I get it.
they like at the end, Charlie, they like kept on getting all these surgeries. Like he got his retina rebuilt and all this stuff, and he kept on getting things done. And I remember they did like at one point it was like, oh, you can either do this like $300 fix, but if it comes back, it's gonna be like $5,000 surgery. Dog was 13 years old, so they do the $300 fix, and my mom's like, yeah, but if it comes back, we'll have to do the. I was like, if it comes back, put the poor thing down.
That's what we did. That was my first dog. It was.
Oh, yikes. No.
We had two cats.
That was so long ago.
Listen to how she tells the story.
This is a sad story.
Max and Allie.
Super cute.
One of them got
Black and
got.
white. Shush.
One of them
What if he got by the other one? Shush.
This sounds like the exact same conversation we just had. It's crazy.
Me trying to sum it up and Cara going into great detail about it.
cat slaughter, honestly.
Cat
And
slaughter.
You want to hear that?
Wait, did
That
I make
was-
that clip?
That
Yes.
was you did.
Yeah.
That was episode
does-
52. We're gonna link that
See,
below.
how am I supposed to remember that? That was so many episodes ago.
I just love it because maybe it's because I saw that clip recently, and both you guys went, no, what? And I was like, wait, no, guys,
we've
guys,
done this.
we've done
The
this
reality
before.
of the retention of our viewers, the people who saw episode 52,
matter.
the episode
They love us. They love our quirkiness.
They love it. They love
Can
the
I show you
stories.
the TikTok of the rescue cats?
If,
We're showing
if
TikTok.
this
I would
is
like
so
that. I
post
would
show,
like
yeah,
that.
go with it.
For her vet appointment.
I'm a pet parent and I understand the struggles of not wanting to let your baby go, but Turu is tired. that baby came to that door asking you, is it time yet?
Is
That
it
baby
time
is ready
yet?
to go home to glory. Two got on high waters and socks. Baby.
I love
Let
it.
that baby go. I don't know what these appointments is for. But take that money and that time and put it into some solid arrangements for that baby. That baby don't know if it's coming or going.
God.
Okay?
Oh
But
my
just
God.
let that baby go and rest.
That baby go and rest.
And then there were other people who like sang a gospel song.
Wow. I love it.
It's so good.
Yeah,
literally. It's so good. Turu is the name. I always forget.
If you want to be a pet parent and you
True,
don't
dude.
want your pet to die while
Yeah.
you're alive,
Send it out to
you got to get a
pasture.
bird. You got to get a bird.
Yes.
God, don't get a
Yeah.
bird.
You got to get a macaw or a
Don't
parrot.
get a
Those things live like
bird. Don't
80
to
live
100
years.
years.
Don't be a bird person.
Andrew Jackson's bird.
God, don't be a bird person.
I
there-
knew-
Bird
I knew a
persons
guy-
are weird.
Cockatoo.
There go our bird people audience.
I knew a guy.
Bye.
He had like 18 of those large birds.
Oh,
Come
love.
And
You like birds?
He
No,
lived by himself.
no.
He lived by himself, and he had to have surgery. He paid $1,800 for like 3 days of bird care for all those birds. I'm like, oh,
They live a long
man.
time. That could be like your lifelong partner.
Yeah.
Yeah, he kept buying them, and he
Yeah,
was a
kept
coworker.
buying 'em.
He was a coworker. And he come in, he's like, oh, I
So
bought this bird, and I was
expensive.
like,
Birds are
like,
so
how many birds you
expensive.
got?
I don't
How
wanna get a
funny
bird.
would that be if you were like, if that was like a bit you did when you were drunk, and then you sober up and there's another bird, and you're like,
Dang it.
ah, dang it.
It happened
did it
again.
happened again. And then it's like, you keep on going to the store and getting more bird feed, and they're like, oh, another one. You're like, yeah, went to Vegas last weekend.
The pet store keeps sending you bottles of wine. Like, thanks for all the
Thanks for
memories.
all
Like,
the
you know what to do.
There's a
keep on-
pet store, specifically bird store, in OB
Uh-huh.
where there's just a screen door so you can kind of look in and see all the birds. It's like the most beautiful giant macaws, like the red and the blue. Oh, they're so cool.
So
Do you know that
I
you have
love
to
it.
file
I
their
love it,
beaks?
the disgusted
as a
face
pet?
that Annie makes from the thought of a beautiful bird.
They're so creepy.
Oh, they're so pretty. Did you ever see
creepy.
Rio?
Yeah,
kinda like Rio.
It's cartoon.
Yeah. It's just
No,
like that.
birds in real life, they're creepy. They're like
actually, that's not real. That's a
dinosaurs.
cartoon.
They're
You just
dinosaurs.
don't. You just
There's
don't want them
a-
talking to you.
There's a bird
I don't
that
like
lives,
that. I don't like their little talons.
There's a
Ugh.
bird that lives in our little complex, and I was walking around. I was trying to put my niece down the other day, and it was out in front in its cage, and the noises and the words, it's crazy. It did a fire alarm, and it sounded like a real fire alarm.
What, did it freak out the dog?
No, I didn't have the dog.
That would have been a crazy
But,
collab.
and then it was like doing like,
if you had a bird that did fire alarms and
And
a
it just-
dog that hates them.
it's amazing how.
Well,
how
that
they
was
can
when
just say stuff
Connor
like
and
that.
Kennedy lost their first bird, Toby, and
Oh,
they
I
they
forgot
thought
that.
they thought that weeks
intense.
later this woman was like, "Hey, I found your bird in my pool. Bring home this new bird." Who Connor was like,
Toby,
"Yep,
too.
this is Toby." Was saying new things, new catchphrases, was
was like-
singing new things, and they were like,
They're
"This
like,
is
"That's not Toby."
Oh, that's awesome.
It's like a don't ask, don't
That's
tell
awesome.
situation.
So now
like,
his name is
That's
Toby
like a
too.
scary movie.
They still have him.
Toby.
They still have him,
That's like
and
a
his name is
scary
Toby
movie.
He's
too.
like, I know where the bodies are. You're like, what? He's like, "Brah, know where the
No,
bodies
he
are.
would keep
They're
going.
out back. They're out back.
He would.
Wait.
What would he do?
Hold on.
It was
Call Jordan Peele. Call Jordan Peele.
Oh, and he
love
would do
that.
Adam's Family.
Yes.
Do-
By the
do-
way,
do-
you do a great bird.
Brah, brah.
You do a great
Bodies
bird.
are out
No,
back.
I'm being serious. You do a great bird.
that okay?
It was really good.
Thanks,
yeah.
man.
Yeah, they're
John?
really good. I don't know how
Up
much
the ladder.
higher I can
Up the
go.
ladder. I don't
Kissing
know.
ass
You can-
tonight.
Okay, sorry. I love you guys. I'll say it. Fine.
Hey guys,
about
ready,
time you
ready
say
for this
it.
transition?
Yeah.
Speaking of the same old stories retold over and over, the Eagles and the Kansas City Chiefs are going back to the Super Bowl.
Bum, 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 bum. I
So-
should load the NFL theme for the next 2 weeks, right? 'Cause we have the Super Bowl's not till the 10th.
Next
I'm
week.
sitting on
Next week
lucky
is
couch.
the Grammys.
Oh,
February 2nd
we
is
have
the
a lot of
Grammys.
predictions to make.
The 9th is the Super Bowl.
Okay, so we've got the Grammys and then the Super Bowl and then
Then
we've
the
got
Oscars.
the Oscars and then we've got March Madness. We got a lot of stuff to talk about that we are
and we
unqualified
have-
to.
St. Patty's
St.
Day.
Patrick's Day.
Oh, yay!
Which lines up on a
Monday.
St.
Oh.
Patty's on a Monday, huh?
What? So we will be drinking green beer live on the internet.
Here at home.
We're gonna turn this into
Annie talks like
Podcast
she's part
pub.
of the like she makes calls on the shows like that.
Oh.
Oh, I don't make any calls on
Dang.
the show, huh?
Okay, then you set up the live stream. If you could set up the live stream, we'll live stream it.
Oh.
No, I meant more like
He's got
I'll
you
be
hostage.
here alive.
There
She's
we
talking
go.
creative choices.
There we go.
John, Chiefs or Eagles?
Okay, you have to understand, I don't care about football at all.
That's fine.
and
I think, John, preach to the choir.
Good
here.
company.
That's fine.
So I was texting
Once a
my brother.
year.
My brother-in-law's a big football guy, and his buddy and him really like the Chiefs. I think I want the Chiefs because if the Chiefs win,
Three-peat.
they'll have won three Super Bowls in a row, which has
Awesome.
never been done before, and I think that's kind of cool.
Sure.
Have no
Worth
connection
noting.
to the Eagles
No.
at all. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm going Chiefs.
Philly. Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Annie.
I'm saying Eagles because
Okay.
last time Jason Kelsey looked so sad when he lost,
Oh.
and I know
He's
he's,
not on
not
the
playing.
team.
I know.
All right, just want to let you know. Thank you.
I
It's all right.
Did he retire
know.
from football? or
Yeah,
is
he
just-
retired.
Okay, good for
But
him.
okay,
He does
John
that
and I
podcast?
started. He has a lot of things cooking now. He started this like talk show
Yeah.
that is like so Philadelphia centric.
Yep.
Which is like, and
Awesome.
they were his first episode. John and I watched some of it, and he's like, "There's
Like
so many."
happenstance.
What
We
is it
happened to
on?
literally
Like
turn-
YouTube or?
It was-
Well,
No, I
we were
think it was
watching
on
YouTube
TV.
TV.
Or was it
We were on
YouTube?
YouTube TV, but it is TV.
But like it comes on, and there's all these people who it's like filled out. Like we were watching it, and I was like, man, if I was from Philly, this would
Fired
be
up.
insane. Because there's like all these like Philadelphia legends that I felt kind of bad that I didn't know who they were. But like the people who were there in the like live audience were like, oh my God, like that
Yeah,
person's here.
yeah.
But it was like I'm really rooting for them. I also
You're going
We-
with Philadelphia, the Eagles.
hey, let me finish. Let me cook.
All right, all right.
We were
Let
talking
her
about
cook.
TV shows. A current TV show that I like to try to keep up with
Okay.
is Abbott Elementary,
Yes.
set in Philly.
Is it? Oh, so that's why they did the crossover
They did the
with
crossover
Always Sunny.
with Always Sunny.
Maybe
it.
my favorite show of all time.
Amazing show.
Yeah.
So good.
Kara, you're going with Kansas City, of course, because of
Oh,
your
look
boyfriend.
at your outfit.
Oh, wow. You are in the colors, which
Yeah.
means for posterity, I got to go with the Eagles
Yeah.
because two
Yeah.
Eagles fans, two
You know,
Kansas City.
I would love you just to choose what you want. You don't have to do it for the
You and me
balance of
both,
the sh-
buddy. You and me both.
Yeah,
But I'm
done
always,
that.
I'm just always working. I'm
I
always
was
thinking about
I'm
the
just
show.
hoping for the Taylor Swift collab for the Super Bowl
Oh yeah,
performance.
I mean, come on. There's a lot of
Oh.
lore around the
Kendrick, isn't
NFL
it?
that the
Who
Chiefs are
sang
getting
on
a
Bad
lot
Blood,
of like,
which is on Reputation,
okay,
which means
I'll let this play out.
Reputation
I'll let
Let
this
her work
could
through
be
that.
announced on the Super Bowl.
It's not.
It's
It's
not
not going to.
So-
Kendrick.
But-
Kendrick completely forgot about Taylor Swift, but that's fine.
No, we didn't. They re-recorded it not that long ago.
Anyway.
There's a lot of lore about whether the Chiefs are getting like special treatment because there have been some interesting like flags and penalties that have been against the other teams when playing the Chiefs that don't make a lot of sense.
Okay.
So everyone's
And you're
kind
rooting
of
for them?
yeah, I love them. But and
I
also,
think any team that's so successful like that always falls under more scrutiny, right?
yeah, true.
What was the team with the
Deflategate?
deflated? Yeah.
That was Patriots.
Patriots.
Yeah.
But
The
I
Patties.
think and I've seen a lot of just people have been talking about this rematch and also the three-peat thing and people, I think it's some good perspective. I will say if you apply it to baseball, I totally get where people are coming from.
Yeah.
Where it's like, but people are like, the Chiefs are like the new Patriots. Like they're in this really like dynasty era.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's cool. But I'm like, you think about that in the scope of the Dodgers, I'm like, I'll kill you. Like I'll literally kill you. The Dodgers
Patrick
suck.
Mahomes
Yes.
has just been suspended
Oh.
because he was gambling on NFL games, which I guess you're not allowed to do.
Not allowed to
Yeah,
do
not
when you're
when
a
it's
player.
in self-interest, yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And then there's rumors that this is Travis Kelce's last year, and he will be retiring after
If he
the
gets
Super
the
Bowl.
three-peat,
Yeah.
then that's like go out with a
Yep,
bang. And
exactly.
if he doesn't, then it's like, well,
Who
I
was the
played
one who
my
kept
best.
coming out of retirement? Tom Brady?
Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then after a while, you're like, okay, dude, no one cares
No,
anymore.
it wasn't Tom Brady. It was one of the Manning brothers.
No.
No, I
Isn't
think
it?
it was Tom Brady. That
Tom
was like
Brady
the big joke. is
Was
Tom
like
Brady would
he
retire,
retired, and then he like came back, and he was like,
retired and came
It was
back.
like the crux of his divorce, right? 'Cause
Yes.
his wife was like, I need you to stop playing football, so he retired.
Didn't Peyton Manning keep doing that too?
no,
Or Eli Manning? One of those? Boys?
Those two were Peyton, I should say, was the first one to like be not just a football player. I feel like he was on SNL a bunch.
Yeah,
and
he's
like
funny. He's on a bunch
he was
of
in
commercials.
commercials and yeah.
Who's this?
And now Peyton Manning.
Oh
Peyton
yeah,
Manning.
yeah.
and
he's
now
funny.
it's like that's just kind of a thing. Yeah, like
yeah.
guys like that.
Yeah,
are in the
because like
zeitgeist more.
didn't Travis Kelce go on like the Tonight Show after last year's?
Isn't Travis Kelce like just kind of non like what
He
is
was
he?
just
He's like
in-
a
he was just in a TV
he's
show.
like a defender or
receiver.
something.
He's a
Yeah, he's a
receiver.
receiver.
Wide
Okay.
receiver, yeah, like a big time. He's one of the highest paid wide
Oh,
receivers.
there
in
you
the
go.
NFL. Yeah.
He was recently in a TV show
Okay, go
Yeah,
ahead.
he
as like a
was.
main character.
Yeah.
He's setting up
Get
his
your bag.
retirement plan, you guys.
Yeah.
Get your bag.
I mean, and then everyone was giving him crap because this last game they won the AFC the AFC championship. I don't know how it all works. And
Sure.
and so they like were talking, and there was a big trophy, and not the Super Bowl though. This is just the pre-Super Bowl stuff.
The championship.
And he was like talking, and they're like, "Why did they let him talk? He only got 19 yards." And I was like, first of all, he's kind of like a leader.
Yeah.
I mean,
Team
whether you
leader.
had a good or
Sure.
bad
Also,
game doesn't dictate
honestly,
you to talk.
Under
He's the
scrutiny.
face of the face of the team.
Yes,
right now.
he is. With Patrick Mahomes, they're like
Patrick
they're like
Mahomes, I feel
together.
like is-
It's
They're-
both of them.
They're
No,
like a
I
little
think
duo.
Travis Kelsey's much more
Oh,
like,
Now, yeah.
noticeable now.
Cutie.
well, there you
He's
go.
a cutie.
I would say among
dating the
women,
queen, so-
at least, they know Travis Kelsey.
They
more
really
than
backed
Patrick
off of
Mahomes.
that like Taylor Swift BS.
They
really
showed her a
did.
Because
lot.
last year they dragged her through the mud.
Oh,
Every
yeah.
game she was at, they were like, she was ruining football. And this year it's kind of like, okay,
I
big
feel
deal.
like, yeah, no,
Move
it's
on.
fair.
Classic football people. Like if we're
Right?
being honest, you know,
Yeah.
it's like the purity of the game, and then it's
ruining the game.
and then it's like, and now they're like, well, you know, she brings a lot of football, so
It's like they're gonna do it again. Like they're gonna three-peat it.
What's like the most like iconically bad football team that we have?
The Chargers.
Chargers.
But not like in all of football.
Kind of.
Or I mean, there are a lot of bad teams.
I don't know.
But
Truly-
the Chargers have never won or never even gone to the Super Bowl. I don't.
Or the
think.
championships, right?
I'm
Yeah.
telling you this so truly. I couldn't tell you. I don't know any of the standings in football. I haven't watched a single
Neither do
game.
I.
The last football game I watched truly was the Super Bowl last year. And I
I
think
don't
that
even watch it.
but there's a part of me though, there's like
There are bad teams. Like the Panthers, pretty bad.
horrible.
Yeah.
There's people that are gonna watch the Super Bowl this year and be like, sports ball, like I hope they get a basket. I don't know how football works. And I'm like,
That's not
just
you.
let people
There are
just let
3
people
teams
like
that have
football.
never even been to the big dance.
Oh, let me
aka
guess.
the Super Bowl.
Let me guess.
You won't want to guess.
The
I've
Chargers.
already given you
no,
the
the
Jaguars.
Chargers have gone.
Jaguars.
Back in the 80s, I think the Chargers went.
Jags.
95.
95. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Think
know
of
the
all the
teams.
little sub teams.
Yeah. I got to think about all
The
the little
Pirates.
subs.
There's one you might get, and then I don't think you'll get
That's
the
a
The
baseball
Raiders
team.
have gone.
Mhm.
Tampa Bay's gone.
It's like a.
It's gonna be some
rando-
Midwest rando.
It is.
Cheeseheads. What's that? Who are they? The Wisconsin.
Colorado.
Not the Packers. No, not
Who's the Colorado team?
I don't think
That's
there's
the
Colorado
Broncos.
teams. Oh,
Broncos. Denver.
Broncos
Denver.
or-
Denver
Denver
Broncos. No, they've
Broncos.
been.
Okay, I don't know. Just give it to me.
The Lions out of Detroit.
Lions.
Detroit Lions.
Detroit Lions never went to a Super
And the
Bowl.
Houston Texans. I would
Didn't even know that was a football team.
Yeah, I had a feeling, but they were in
Houston
the playoffs.
Texans, huh?
This they knocked the Chargers out this playoffs. Season.
Okay.
Good for you, Texans.
And then they lost, and now they're out.
That's
But
it. I don't
and then
care
the
about the Chargers.
the Jacksonville Jaguars. Gotta
The
be
Jags.
Tough. Gotta be tough to be
Which
one of those.
is like
teams.
one of the running bits in A Good Place. Is that the one character like is obsessed with the Jaguars?
Yes.
He's like the Jags. Yeah, they're a great team.
I love that show.
That's
Such
funny.
a good show.
Talk about a show to rewatch.
Never seen it.
Yeah.
Never watched it.
It's
Oh,
so good.
It's so funny.
It's so
The Good Place.
good.
It kind of got spoiled for me.
Well,
Yeah.
Spoilers for The
it's
Good
like-
Place.
that's because
They're
you,
like in
you
the
weren't
bad
on,
place,
you weren't
right?
on it.
Yeah, well,
You had to be on it.
I don't know what to tell you.
That's so true.
Yeah, it's like any other show. I think where after a couple seasons, you're like, what are we doing here? You
Yeah.
know, like we've kind of
Yeah.
exhausted.
Did it
a
wrap
lot.
up?
Let's bring back like a one season, like one good season,
No.
and then you're like,
No, because anybody can. I think there are a lot of people who can write a really good one season show.
Sure.
I think the difference between good writers and bad writers is making that jump to season
Yeah.
2. Now, whether or not you go to 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I don't know.
I think is a similar sentiment. Know when to say when.
yeah.
Because Breaking Bad did 5 seasons. Boom, 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 boom. Like some of the best television ever made.
Yep.
The Office went on for, what was it, 25 seasons? Something like that?
7 seasons.
God.
It
Way
was
too
still,
much.
it was like 4 too long, right?
Oh,
Like,
wait, it was 9 seasons. 7 with
Steve Carell.
That's really
so there you go. So 7
it should have been
seasons.
7.
yeah.
If I was going to rewatch, I should say watch, because I never really truly watched The Office. If I was going to watch it, is there any value in that 8 and 9, those seasons without Steve Carell?
No.
No, I mean they
The
were kind of
only-
all winding
The
down.
only episode I would say even worth watching is when he
The
pops
finale?
back in.
Okay, hold on.
Finale.
Let's take a breath there. The only episode worth watching.
In those
From
last two
season 8 or
seasons.
9.
Yeah.
Well, sure. Yeah, I think the last one's probably. The
Hey,
I think-
hey,
I think
safe
a show
space, buddy.
that-
it's a safe space.
A show that was a good one season
Mm.
was Kimmy Schmidt.
Yeah.
That was a good one season
and it
show.
should have just gone.
Yeah, the second season sucked.
Boo.
Boom.
Pretty Little Liars should have stopped at 3 seasons.
You know what?
Liars
And we'll
should've never
see.
been made.
We'll see. We got 4 seasons coming up of Trump's presidency. And
4 seasons.
in episode 1 has already been crazy.
God.
The first
Make it
2
stop.
first episode.
First couple episodes have
I-
been
Maybe
insane.
that's a sub series we have on the show is where we just kind of isolate political talk into its own little area
that's
on our
kind of
Patreon.
interesting.
Because there's going to be a lot to talk about with Trump.
I want off.
You want off?
Yeah. Let me off of
Okay.
this ride.
Okay.
I would like to be let off as soon as
Really?
possible.
Really?
Yeah.
What if we just sedate you into a medically induced coma for
Okay.
4 years?
Oh.
Okay.
And we'll wake you back up.
That would freak you out. That would spiral. you.
Hold on.
If you came
Can
back
you
in 4
imagine?
years,
And then
There
you
was-
have to watch the podcast to know what
There
happened
was somebody.
last 4 years.
There was somebody on Reddit that posted that in late 2019 he fell into a coma and woke up in something like 2022 summertime. Missed
my
all of
God.
COVID. Missed all of
that would
civil unrest.
That would have been the time to miss.
There's
you
a
know?
dad who
I would say
I don't know
so.
if it was fake,
Go
but a
ahead.
girl posted her dad and was like, "Hey, my dad has been in a coma since 2019, and he just woke up today."
I think that
and
was
here's
maybe
the
it.
video of me telling him that Trump is president,
Ugh.
and she goes, "Hey, Dad, you know who's president? Trump." And the dad goes, "You're lying."
Donald Trump.
Wait, but when did he go into coma in 2019? Because there's like obviously a lot of lead up to the election. It wasn't like he just was elected
well,
one day.
like, but no one in 2019, no one really thought he was gonna win.
But he still like was one of the 2 candidates at some point. You know, like it was still a possibility in 2019.
Yeah, I would say so. I don't think even Joe Biden
Joe
gonna
Biden.
run. Was
No.
Joe Biden even gonna run?
No, he was in the primary. He was in the. He got knocked out in the
No.
primary.
This is a weird thought, but I was just thinking about the fact that like we weren't in high school, like, well, you were. What year did you graduate, Annie?
2016.
2016. So you graduated like right before Trump got elected. So still
Yeah,
kind
it
of.
was the first election I could vote in.
So I was just thinking like how glad I was to not be in high school when like Trump's America started happening
Yeah.
because it like I remember there
Certainly.
being like super conservative kids, but not anyone like nobody was really like crazy, crazy about it.
Yeah, the
flying
first-
flags and
that
whatnot.
was our first presidential election that we could vote in,
All of us, yeah.
Yeah.
and that felt very
and I would
crazy.
say the first one in my life that I really even batted an eye at because Obama's. I mean, maybe we were kids, so who cares? But like,
when you can't vote. I
but
don't
there
care.
wasn't like
there was-
crazy. The Obama election wasn't nearly as crazy. I felt.
No, because I think his the people he beat, Mitt Romney and John McCain, they were like it was, you look back at some of those debates, it was very cordial.
It
It
was
was
super
very,
cordial.
like,
Well, and I have a lot of respect for Mitt Romney and how when he retired. And he
Yes.
made that whole statement being like, anyone my age and older needs
Should
to step
retire.
step
Yeah.
down.
that's respect.
And
I like
even
that.
like even further like the John McCain
yeah.
run where he was
Oh,
like
Wait,
people were like
was it McCain Palin? Was that Sarah
Uh-huh.
Palin?
uh-huh.
Oh, the way that I do wish that she would have been VP is crazy. Because
That woman
she would have given us
doesn't
some
belong
great
anywhere near the
content.
White House.
I can see Russia from my house.
I saw this clip recently and maybe it was like around when he passed away
Yeah.
and they were like it was like on the campaign trail and somebody was like Obama rhymes with Osama. I think he's from Africa and he's a terrorist. And John McCain's like, no, like, sweetheart, like, no. Basically, like, held her hand through it and was like, he is an American citizen. He's a good man. I've worked with him. And, this country would be lucky to have him.
You're doing
We're-
the Obama hand.
No,
That
that was
was
John McCain holding her hand.
oh, got
No,
it.
Being
Obama
like,
is more like,
"You're
let me be
dumb."
clear.
Very nice.
In
No, I've
college,
seen
in
that
college, I did a little blow. You've seen that clip. Wait, let me pull the clip up.
I've
done this before.
I
love-
remember with that clip, yeah, and that was like, that's what I was telling somebody. I was talking about just the political climate and
Yeah.
Trump, and I was like, I just want to go back to where it's like, can we just pretend like we agree, or like at least have some sort of level of like, hey, we're in this together,
I agree. Like, I have that same sentiment. I think in a lot of ways, like, the genie's out of the bottle now.
Sure.
And people, that feel so strongly one way are gonna, like red knuckle it until they die.
I just felt like that was my biggest. I mean, there was a lot of things to not like about his inauguration speech, but that was like my like overarching theme was like I was like, inauguration speeches are supposed to be about unity. Like, okay, like the election's behind us. Now let's move forward and let's like make let's do better.
Yeah.
And his was so divisive.
My
And I was
gosh,
like, what's the point?
we didn't even get to talk about last week. Was the Elon Musk
We
might,
talked
might
about
be
it
a Nazi?
right before. We
Did
just
we?
didn't
Yeah,
talk
we
about
didn't
it
talk
on the podcast. But
Oh
I
my
I
gosh,
talked
it has
about
been
right before.
analyzed and defended.
Yeah.
That's
and
crazy.
it's crazy. And now I'm seeing all these like conservative creators on TikTok being like, "Look, see, I'm doing it and it's normal." Like, but they're like not doing the same thing at all. They're like, "My heart goes out to you." See, that's what he did.
No, he did a full house.
Twice.
Heil
Twice.
Nazi salute.
Yeah.
Crazy in front of the American like United States seal to a big crowd of people.
I've now everyone. I'm like, I'm sorry if you drive a Tesla. You better get rid of that thing. Like, I hope
Oh,
stock
come on.
plummet. No, I'm serious.
Really?
Stock better plummet there. Like, that
Dude.
is insane.
I'm telling you, every time something
Little
like that
Nazi
happens,
mobiles.
you think that like, oh, this is gonna be it. Like, this is it. Here goes the stock. It's like, no, people don't care, man. Either they don't care about Nazis, not a big deal, not a deal breaker, or they're Nazis. They're like, okay, yeah, rock and roll, let's go, Elon.
Here's
Elon,
this whole clip I saw
by the
where
way,
it's like,
immigrant. Just want to put that out there.
literally,
Immigrant to this country.
That's the craziest thing.
It's so crazy.
And like Melania,
Immigrant.
They're not
Like-
Mexican immigrants though.
Yeah,
That's the
no,
only
they're
ones they
they're
care
not the
about.
wrong kind of immigrants.
Yeah.
They're
well,
the
and then our friend, friend of the podcast, Kat Pinning, was saying that
Thank
she's
you.
going to start carrying her tribal ID
Yeah.
because there's been like reports of ICE showing up to like Indian reservations, like looking for
God.
immigrants. Where I'm like, that's not even how that works.
That's
it's
not-
it's sovereign land.
doesn't matter.
It's-
You're brown. We're taking you
There
in.
were ICE employees on the OB Pier today. Just
Yeah.
literally standing on the part that's not closed and just looking over in the parking lot.
Now, it's a hard thing to
Standing there.
navigate because I'm like, we're in San Diego, which is like a border city. And so
Yeah,
there's
if there's
always
gonna be ICE
that.
anywhere, it's
but
gonna
I
be
have
here.
been seeing a
They
lot
started
of people.
the checkpoint again.
Yeah, the one up in San Onofre.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh.
Where the what do you call it? Immigration checkpoint.
Wow.
It's hard to like navigate that kind of stuff because you just see a picture of, an immigration officer somewhere and it's like, oh, this is it. It's starting. Like, here come the raids. And I'm like, yeah, but we're in San Diego. They're here all the time.
They are here.
They're always here. I will say the only time
Wait.
I've ever been stopped is when we were coming back from Arizona and we were with my friend Tommy, who's Filipino and Middle Eastern.
God.
And,
Got him.
and it's me and Tyler, two little white girls.
Yeah.
And we're going and Tommy goes, well, they'll probably stop us. And Tyler and I, like, we've never been stopped. Fully stopped, made us all say, like, hello. They're like, oh, what are you guys doing? Made all of us talk so they could hear Tommy's voice. And then they're like, okay, go ahead. It's like, we'd start driving away. We're like,
Wild.
that's crazy, Tommy. That's never happened to us.
What? He's like, yeah.
like,
He's
yeah.
like, hey, that's me.
Perks of being brown.
Yeah.
Get
No
stopped.
kidding.
Crazy.
You know.
I don't like it.
Well,
Frankly.
we could put you in the coma. We can discuss that, what that would look like for you.
I wonder because I don't want to lose. I like being aware, but I don't like the constant barrage of shitty information. You know what I mean? I was talking about this with my sister this week, where she's like, it's just so much all the time,
Yeah.
and I'm like, and
Well-
I deal with I struggle with like I want to be a well-informed citizen, but I also want to be like I just want to hang out.
But there's
sometimes.
some unprecedented times that we're living through that are good.
Go ahead.
Timothy Chalamet was the host and musical guest of
We
SNL.
don't have enough time on this show.
There's not enough hours in the day. We used to do episodes that were like an hour 15.
I'm
You
not
remember
sure
those
how-
days?
I'm not sure how we did it.
Wow.
Yapping's out, so we better end this podcast.
I'll tell you what. John, you're shaping up to be a real good. That was a dad move right there.
Yeah?
You're like, "There's
yeah,
not
you're
enough-
ready.
there's not enough time."
No, we can
I
talk
don't know
about
how
it.
we
Timothy
did that.
Chalamet.
I don't know how we
I'm
did
so
that
tired
back
of
in the
that
day.
guy. I'm so tired of Timothy Chalamet. They
I
give
hope
him,
your kid turns
They
out
give him
just like him.
everything. And
You know what?
I don't
Rich
think he's
and
that
famous.
good.
He deserves the world.
Oh, really?
I love him. I love him.
Is he up for any Oscar noms?
He is. He got the best actor nom for Bob Dylan.
Love it.
He's not gonna
He's
win.
not gonna
Where
win
he
that.
If he
literally
wins-
was so annoying that whole movie.
That sounds horrible.
Well, but Bob Dylan's annoying.
But
so
Timothy Chalamet's also annoying.
yeah.
It's the perfect fit.
So it's kind of the
Yeah.
perfect fit.
Pass.
Yeah, he's not gonna win, but I think he's having a moment, and it's definitely
He's kind
worth
He's been
noting.
booky this whole like press tour that he's been on for that movie.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He's
I
been
loved his Nardwuar
unhinged.
interview. Incredible.
I was shocked to see he was still with Kylie Jenner.
Yeah.
I thought he was kind of
Is
going.
he?
Yeah.
Yes.
He brought her to the
To
last
Golden
ones.
Globes.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, there's pregnancy rumors about her.
Yes, there is.
Wow.
There's the and listen, I never believe the internet.
It's a video of her like
The
on
rumors.
Christmas, like
Yeah.
covering her stomach with like presents.
But the thing is, I remember last time they're like, Kylie Jenner's pregnant. Kylie Jenner's pregnant. I'm like, you guys are insane. And then she dropped
She
that
was.
video that she was pregnant. I was like, you know what? The internet slews so hard
Yeah.
that like if they think she's pregnant, I think she's pregnant.
I'm in on the
Congratulations,
internet.
Timothy.
I trust
for
the
your soon-to-be baby.
Hopefully, he didn't give
Yeah,
her a
Oscar
sexual
nominee.
disease like he did at NYU.
Let's end it there.
Guys, head on over to our Patreon. $4 a month gets you access to the post show, but you can sign up right now and be one of our fans. The free version is we're going to be rolling out some content.
Will we do our Oscar predictions on that?
I think we do a full. I think so. I think
Right.
our Oscar predictions talk is going to be on that freebie.
Do
You're
we
gonna
dress
get
up for the Oscars like we did that one year?
Oh yeah, I would say so. I
Still have like a month, people.
Yeah,
I
we
know
have
the
a month,
Grammys
yeah.
first.
I gotta dress
need
up
to
for the
look.
Grammys.
Yeah, I need to look at all the noms and take some time on it.
So head on down to the Patreon. It's going to be linked in our bio. Check it out. Get the free version. Hey, maybe splurge the $4 a month. Support the show.
Yes.
We'd really appreciate it. And that just about wraps up everything here.
Yes, your time,
Guys, any final thoughts? Oh, I'm getting the light from Annie. Annie's giving me the
Annie's
finger.
Giving you the light.
No,
or
the wagging. She's wagging the finger. No, she's
No,
not giving me the finger.
No,
of
no,
course.
no. That'd be crazy.
No, of course.
No.
Oh, wow. All right. Hey.
All right.
Love you
Yeah.
guys. Great podcast. On the couch
See
as
ya.
always. Cara Tafolla, Artie, Albright, the dog, podcast dog, Annie Skovmand. I'm Ryan.
And I'm John.
And we'll see you next week on What's a Podcast? Annie didn't say it.
What the podcast?
Hey, never said it.
I like that. I like that. All in this together, Annie.